Finally, the tax advantage. We pay almost no taxes on our cash flow and capital gains. These are the 5 ways we make money in real estate, which is why real estate accounts for more millionaires in the world today than any other investment vehicle. You should have some real estate in your portfolio. To learn how, attend one of our free workshops. Call 1-866-971-8970 or go to getmymapnow.com and register for the next available workshop. That's 866-971-8970 or getmymapnow.com.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
You just entered the Gotcha Zone. Eilon up to the start line and get ready to race with your host, Joe Britt. It's time for Gotcha Racing, live on KCAA 1050.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines and get ready for an action-packed, fun-filled hour of everything a motorhead ever loved or lived. Gotcha Racing with Joe Britt. Welcome to Gotcha Racing. This is Joe Britt.
Hey there, race fans, and welcome to another edition of Gotcha Racing. With your host, Joe Britt at the mic. We come to you every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock on the most powerful station in the IE, which is KCAA Talk Radio. We're on 1050 AM and also on 106.5 FM. So you have 2 reasons to listen to us. Alrighty. I got a jam-packed day today. We're going to put on some interviews that we've had before, and we're going to talk a little bit, okay? Well, let me do my open here. Hey, I come to you a humble man that is a reflection of God's grace and greatness, a humble man that is standing on the shoulders of ancestors. Hello, America. Look alive, California. Wake up, San Bernardino. Stand up and be counted, Inland Empire, for this is your host, Joe Britt, coming to you loud, clear, and strong from the desert to the sea, broadcasting on the powerful KCAA radio, talk radio, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Weather is absolutely phenomenal today. Ooh, doggy. It's like going to the beach weather today. Really nice. It would more likely be about 85 today. Not bad for California, Sunshine State. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be behind the mic, and I'm happy to communicate to you out there, the greatest fans in the world. A little house cleaning that I have to do all the time. And I do this because I could have new listeners listening. But here we go. So you want to call in and talk to us, That number, the studio number is 888-909-1050. That's for long distance. 888-909-1050. For the local callers, it's 909-888-5222 or 5224. 909-888-5222 or 5224. If you are somewhere you can't really get our transmission, which is would be kind of weird because we're on FM and AM, you can pick it up on your smartphone, your cell phone, your dumb phone, your house phone. That number is that you can dial and just listen. Okay, you can't communicate to us, but you can just listen to the program. 832-999-1050. 832-999-1050. We have our podcast, and it can be found on our great website, which is kcaaradio.com. Go to the Saturdays lineup, find me, your host, Gotcha Racing Live, Joe Britt, and pick and choose. We can be found on Facebook under Gotcha Racing or under Joe Britt or under Gotcha Racing Live or the Gotcha Racing TV. Okay? You want to communicate with me through email? Go jbritt, B-R-I-T-T, .kcaa@gmail.com. For you Gotcha Racing TV fans out there, and that's our sister company, it would be grtv.media@gmail.com. Okay? All right, so there's a car show today that I just passed by, and it's a local car show, custom, lowriders, custom bikes, and the Duke's Car Club is giving it. So it's the Duke's Custom Car Show, and that's the State and Highland in San Bernardino. It's at the Legion Hall. Okay, a lot of folks are going out there. Highland State and Highlands pretty busy about now, I tell you. Tomorrow, the Dub Show is at the Convention Center in L.A. tomorrow. So, we used to film that before they went corporate, and now that corporate dropped them, I guess we might, I don't know, we might have a correspondent going and recording some video later down the road. Don't know for sure right now. Okay. You know what? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in our country, USA. And I'm just going to hit it for a minute and then I'll get off of it. We all live in a civilized society, and there's only one race of people on this planet. Okay, and I know a lot of you have heard, there's different races. No, it's only one race, and that race is human. All right, we all have pretty much the same DNA. Some characteristics could be changed in that DNA, such as complexion, your skin, such as your nose, such as your hair, such as your cheekbones, But actually, there's only one race of people, and we're all humans. Now, there's a lot of different ethnicities, okay? Some are brown, some are black, jet black, some are pasty white, some are extreme yellow, some are purple, some are completely red, some are reddish brown, And with the different ethnicities comes religion. There's a ton and a slew of different religions in the United States and on this blue dot that we call home. I said we call home, okay? Now, there's a superficial, superficial thing that has been developed, and it's called supremacy. Well, you know what? There's no one far more superior than the next person. Now, if you were a Superman, you can fly in the air, you can fly to different planets, you can go underwater and live underwater, you can do all these fantastic things that the media and the movies are projecting that one man can do. They call him Superman. Well, then you are in a category by yourself. But if you are breathing our air, drinking our water, living on our blue dot, under the same circumstances, and you can't outperform the next person next to you, hey, guess what? Fool, listen, you're not superior, okay? You're just one of the Joes, one of the regular guys on this planet, one of the regular ethnicities on this planet, whether you are black, brown, white, pink, yellow. You got to get over this, man. You got to get over this. Now, I know at one time how it started, it was based on economics. Okay? The guys on top, always wanted to be on top. They didn't want to do any work. Okay? They had to get a ethnicity to do all the work for them while they sit and they drink and they have a good time. Okay? That's economics. That's a divide and conquer. But we're in the new society, and we can't afford to have a divided society, especially when other countries don't like us. Okay? Now, we're not just supposed to come together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya when we're getting attacked, and then go back to the regular norm and start hating one another because of the way you look, because of the way you smell, because of the way you talk, your different accents that you do carry and you do have. In our country, United States, there's a lot of different accents. The Southern, the Californian, the yuppie, the country guys, the New England. But nevertheless, if you were to strip all of that down to the basis, hey, guess what? You're human, man. And you are a American citizen. Now, people ask you, what's your nationality? And if you were born here in America, guess what? You are a American. Your nationality is American. Now, if you were born in somewhere else, then whatever region or the part of the world you were born in, that becomes your nationality. All right? Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. We're fighting over nothing. We're killing over nothing. And it seems as if the 1% out there are getting fat, are getting rich off our stupidity and not willing to learn who we are as a people in the United States. And it's a tragedy. What has happened this week pisses me off to no end. To no end. But I saw it coming. I saw it coming. And it's not over yet. But, this stuff can be resolved just by, won't even say critical thinking. I would just say little thinking. A little bit of thinking. You don't have to have a nosebleed to understand what's going on. Right? This is our country, people. The United States of America belongs to each and every citizen that was born here, and also the ones that have come here and become naturalized citizens. All right? Don't get it twisted. Don't let some knucklehead tell you that you are better than the next person, because you're not. You should understand that. You're not. We're all one group of folks. Now, education could probably set you apart, maybe, but I know some of the dumbest people are the most educated on paper, that have that long sheepskin hanging on their wall, right? I call them educated fools, right? And then I know a lot of smart people, streetwise people, who understand what's going on in their neighborhood and understand the culture of the American society, and they're quite wealthy. So you don't have to be a knucklehead. You just have to know how we do things in America. And I tell you, folks, this is not the way. And if we continue to go down this same tribal landscape, it's going to be a civil war. And it's not going to be between the races, because there's only one race. It's going to be between the ethnicities. All right? Let's prevent that from happening. Okay? Let's prevent that from happening. My folks told me a long time ago, if you don't have anything to say nice about someone, keep your mouth shut. Don't say their name at all. Don't mention their name. And I tell you, there's a lot of people, I don't say their name. I just don't do it. Okay? If you have anything good to say about someone, don't say nothing about them at all. So, listen, folks, and I'm just telling you this because I care for you. I care for all the listeners in Southern California, and I care for all the listeners that are on this blue dot, and especially all the listeners that are in the United States of America. We're all one, folks. Let's not get divided. Let me tell you something. What could happen is this, and I'll get off this diatribe in a minute. If we're divided, we can be conquered. You understand that? A house divided will be a house that will surely fall. Here's a hypothetical. Well, ISIS is pissed right now at what some say America has started. Okay? And they will get rid of any American. I'd say any American. Now, let's say that we're so busy fighting the whites against the blacks, the browns against the blacks, the browns against the whites, and we're fighting all the ethnicities on our soil, or fighting each other and engage in a civil battle. These guys can sneak in clear as day and smooth as silk, okay, and really do harm to us. That's because we're divided. Divided we shall fall. So I'm hoping you guys could understand this out there, male and female, American citizens that are listening to the tone of my voice. You can understand and appreciate the verbiage that I'm trying to give you. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand this. You just have to be a caring American and understand that, hey, you're not superior. There's no such thing as superior. That fallacy was put to rest in 1943, was it? Yeah, I think it was 43, when Jesse Owens went to Germany for the Olympics. And good old Hitler and his comrades, they thought for sure they were their superior race, and that was put to rest. Okay? There's no such thing, superior. No. There is not. So let's get over that. Let's concentrate on doing cars. Let's concentrate on treating our fellow man like we want to be treated. Okay? You understand that? Like we want to be treated. You want to be treated cool? Well, treat this guy cool. Now, the guy could be a complete jerk, or she could be a complete jerk. And those people are out there because they're young-minded. They don't understand. Okay? I mean, don't get wrapped up and involved in a fight because somebody is a baby in their mind, and you're high school level or you're college level. Everybody has their metamorphosis that they have to go through. Everybody has their training they're going to have to go through. So it's not necessary in order to have a confrontation for someone who's trying to learn, and they're learning, and they haven't reached the learning curve that you have. But nevertheless, we're all Americans here, and I do not like what the police are doing. I do not like what the guys are doing to the police, the retaliation, because all it is retaliation. It's a tit for tat. You get some of mine, I'll get some of yours. We don't need that to happen in America, man. We don't. But nevertheless, let me get off of this, okay? Look, guys out there, I appreciate you. I appreciate you 100%. I really do. I really do. And I want you always to be on that side of the speaker listening to our great program we do have here. And I tell you, I got a lot of stuff in store for you that's coming up. I want you to be here. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to be in prison, I don't want you to be 6 feet under. I don't. I want you to be there working in your car, working on your friend's car, getting all your cars together. I want you to be on the racetrack, and I want you to put all that testosterone that you do have inside of you, put it to work for you, and let's talk about it. Call me on the air. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you're doing in the streets with your car. Not in the streets, but on the track with your car, because I don't believe in street racing either. That has killed a lot of folks, and I don't believe in that. But nevertheless, tell you what, JP is the engineer that I use. So JP, let's put on some commercials, and we'll come back. We'll put some of these great interviews that I have in store for the people to hear. Hey, folks, this is Joe Britt, communicating with the greatest fans on this planet. And I'm broadcasting out of Kcaa Talk Radio, and we're on channels 1050 AM and also 106.5 FM. Stay tuned. We're the station that leaves no one behind. I should say this. We're the station that leaves no listener behind. So come on back and stay for a while. We're right back.
Oh, no.
Don't worry about a thing, pretty lady. You're in good hands with J&K Auto Body Paint and Repair. J&K Auto Body has been serving the Rialto area for years and are considered to be one of the oldest and the best auto body shops in town. The right people with the right tools and the right experience that can give you the service and the quality that you expect. 24 hours, 7 day a week towing is available. That's J&K Auto Body, 241 South Palm Avenue, Rialto, California, across the street from the Metrolink station. Call us at 909-875-0400, 909-875-0400. That's 909-875-0400.
U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is loaded with 15 acres of used, salvaged, and rebuilt parts for your car or truck. Sure, you could go to any wrecking yard, but U&I has what it takes. Expertise, high-quality products, and the finest customer service you'll receive anywhere. U&I makes custom drive shafts, furnishes full warranties on all their parts, and keeps up on industry changes. Call 909-888-6841. You'll be impressed by the fast and friendly response from the U&I skilled staff. You can also go to the Contact Us page and request a part. U&I hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday, 8 till 3. U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is located at 1435 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. Check out the U&I webpage at the letter U, the letter I, autoparts.com, or call 909-888-6841. 909-888-6841.
Gotcha Racing Live, heard only on KCAA, is your command center for racing news, the hottest interviews, and DIY projects. We are your destination for interviews with racers and fans, on-track interviews, in-shop interviews with engine builders, car restorers. Hear from our correspondents on live track car shows. Gotcha Racing Live. Start your engine and race on over to KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM every Saturday at our new time, 11 AM. Gotcha Racing Live, where we put you in the driver's seat.
شما در حال گوش دادن به برنامه Gotcha Racing هستی با صدای جو برید. Sie hören jetzt Gotcha Racing live mit Ihrem Gastgeber Joe Britt.
You're listening to Gotcha Racing live on KCAA 1050 AM with Joe Britt. Now get to the chopper. Hasta la vista, baby.
All right, we're back in the flesh, and we will continue our great show. You know, last week, guys, I was telling you that I was looking at a 545 Beamer. Well, I've gotten that out of my system, and I will go back and I will finish off what I started, which was the 5.0 that I've been driving, the whole rear clip from the windshield back. I got from a local yard, I got it from U&I, and they were able to get that intact for me. And I'm going to go ahead and strip my car right to the bone, take the seats out, take the carpet out. This is a 5.0 that I have, and install that whole clip from windshield back. And I tell you, I'm going to freak it out. I'm going to put probably some 22s on it. I'm going to lower it, put some flare fenders on it, and I'm going to paint it Catch Me Red. I just don't care anymore. Catch Me Red, or Porsche Red, Ferrari Red. I want it to be brightest red as I possibly can put on it, and then I'll put probably a couple of stripes on the fenders, and the rims would probably match the stripes. So I'm getting back to the creative mode. I've also designed some seats. Because I do fiberglassing, and I have a great mode for some real cool seats that are pretty unique, and I guess I'll throw that in. And, well, heck, if I'm doing it, I might as well design. No, I've already designed a roll cage. I might put that in or not. I don't know. But the engine is very strong. It has headers. There's rear gears in the pumpkin, and I tell you, once you put that pedal to the metal, that little rascal will run. It will run. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish that off. And that was a dream of mine to get that the BMW. When I saw it, I was thinking, well, it has all the features on it that I would like. But I can do the same with my Mustang, and my Mustang has been paid for already, so I might as well just keep what I got and do what money say do. You understand me? Do what money say do. If you don't have the money in your pocket, that means your money say stay put, stay in your lane. If you got a little dough, then you do what money say do, and don't go overboard by any means. But nevertheless, let's continue with our great show. I was at the NHRA early part of the year, and they were doing the Winter Nationals, and I was invited by the vice president to come on out with my mic and do some great interviews. So without further ado, let's put on the first one, which is Terry. He is the vice president of the NHRA of America. The rock and roll, Joe. Hey, folks, here we are again. We're still in the media tent at the Winter Nationals in Pomona, California. And I'm with the top dog here of NHRA, Terry. Give me your last. I don't want to mess up your last name. What's your last name?
It's Blunt, pronounced like Mel Blunt.
Oh, yeah, so Blunt, okay. Yeah. And your position with the NHRA?
I'm the Vice President of Communications and Public Relations.
So as I said, folks, I'm talking to one of the big guys, he's on the on the fruit, but he's higher up. But nevertheless, how you been?
I've been great. I mean, Joe, we're so excited about this season. We really see this. We have a slogan going in this year that we're calling "Shifting Gears into a New Era," and we mean that. And we're telling people that because we are going to be so much different, bigger, better than the NHR has ever been in the past. And it starts, of course, with the Fox television deal, which is really transformative for our sport. We realized that to be considered a true major league sport, you have to go live. And so we're going to have 17 events live this year. We're going to have 4 on the Fox Network live, which has never happened in the history of our sport. Years ago, we used to be on Wide World of Sports, but that was tape delayed. So it's a big deal for us in terms of our television package and a lot of other new things we have going forward.
Now, last week, you guys were in Phoenix, right? Doing testing?
We did. For years, the NHR has had their preseason test session in Palm Beach, Florida. And it worked well. But the teams had to go all the way across country for the first event here at the Winter Nationals at Pomona. So we felt it was better for them. Most of our teams are headquartered in Indianapolis. It was better for them to come from Indianapolis to Phoenix, do the test there, what we were calling spring training, because obviously spring training will start in a couple of weeks in Phoenix, and then come straight from Phoenix to here, just a 4-hour drive. So not only that, our next event after the Winter Nationals is 2 weeks from now at Phoenix at Wild Horse Pass. So they were actually getting data that they can use in 2 weeks on that track. So it seemed to work out better all the way around. We got a lot of media attention there last week, and we think it was better for the teams. It made it easier for them travel-wise, and it worked out really well. We had a public day on Saturday where people could come watch testing, and we had a lot of media out there. So we thought it was much better than what we'd done in the past.
Well, you know something? I've interviewed a lot of the guys here, and one thing they're mentioning right off the bat: Fox. Yes. And my goodness, I'm thinking they must have some kind of training or something.
Well, that's good. They're listening to me then. So they know the talking points. So no, truly, Joe, they're excited about it because they get it. They understand what this means to change the sport. In this era of instantaneous information, where young people are on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and texting, and everything is known within seconds of it happening. You can't be on tape delay. We couldn't have a sport where all the results were known before we went on the air. So we had to go live. We had to put most of our events live. And this year we have 17. And next year we hope to have all of them live. We didn't do that this year because the 7 events that aren't live, we're going directly off a NASCAR race where we get a great bump there from their audience on Fox to go straight from the NASCAR race to our race on tape delay. But the other 17 will be live. And Fox has been great to us. The telecast is going to be dramatically different than anything we've done before. We went in-house with the broadcast because we felt no one's better at telling the stories of our drivers than we are. On the downtime between rounds, we're doing a lot of features on the drivers. We're taking the approach of kind of like they do in the Olympics, Joe, with these features they do on people called up close and personal. And the reason they do that is you have all these people in the Olympics that are skiers or water polo players or whatever it might be that they don't really know them. So ice skaters, whatever. So they want to do these features on them so people will understand who they are and they'll have a rooting interest in it. Well, that's kind of the approach we're taking with our drivers. We're going to do a lot of features on drivers and make them more personal to our fans. We want to make the driver's story. For years and years in motorsports, the cars were the stars. And the cars still are a big part of it, but the truth is the drivers are the stars. And we want to make our drivers bigger stars. We feel we can do that with this TV package. We also have virtual graphics that we're adding. For example, the Sports Vision team, which is the same that does it for the NFL with the first down lines and those kind of things. They are doing virtual graphics for us with a virtual finish line, a virtual starting line. We're going to have things in the lane for each driver showing the driver, their car, who they are, so people will not be confused about which driver is in which lane, and they'll more easily identify that driver with that car. So our virtual graphics package we think will make a big difference. The bottom line is the telecast is going to be so much different than what people have seen before, and we think they're going to notice. We hope they're going to notice.
Well, Terry, that's almost that's almost like the viewership watching a football game.
Well, it's going to be like that.
With all the graphics.
Yeah, we're going to have those kind of graphics. And it's the same company, by the way. Sports Vision is the name of the company. We're going to have those kind of graphics. For years people haven't been sure where the finish line was at the end of a race. Well, now we're going to have virtual graphics like a checkered virtual graphic finish line, so they can see exactly where it is and when they hit that line. And also at the starting line, we're going to have a virtual graphic. But the biggest thing is what we're going to do in the lanes with like driver cards. It's kind of like, I guess I'd describe it like a baseball card, where you see the driver's face, their statistics coming in, which car they're in, and which it's going to be in the lane they're in. So nice. It's going to be helpful. You know, we've had a problem we felt in the past in that the casual fan wasn't sure which driver was in which lane. So this will help them recognize them better, help them recognize their car with that driver, and help them kind of learn more about the driver and hopefully become a fan of that driver.
Well, you know what? It sounds like you're on the right path. And I tell you, if you can do all of that, which I believe you can, that's going to bring a lot of people watching that TV and watching this game here.
Well, we hope so, especially the 4 network races we have this summer. You know, our Western Swing, which has always been one of our famous parts of the season, where we go to Denver, Sonoma, and Seattle. The entire Western Swing is now going to be on the Fox network, the big Fox network. So we know, and also our U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis on Labor Day weekend. Those are our 4 network races. And we know that that's going to bring a lot of eyeballs that have never seen the sport before. And we have to capitalize on that. We have to make those people fans that haven't been here before. We want to show them this is what you're missing. This is why this is cool and trendy. We honestly believe there's no better motorsport for today's young people than our sport. I mean, what other sport do you have a result every 4 seconds? You know, at 300 miles an hour. And, you know, let's face it, kids these days don't have a big, long attention span.
That's right.
And so this is perfect for them, right? So we think we can make them stars. The other thing we want to point out to people that most people don't know is that we have the metrics and the statistical information to prove it, that NHR actually is the number 2 motorsport in the country to NASCAR. I think people have a misconception that it's IndyCar. Don't get me wrong, I love IndyCar racing. I covered the Indianapolis 500 for 20 years. But we are actually number 2 in every metric we want to see, in the number of participants, in the number of fans, in any metric you want to try and use. We are number 2 to NASCAR, and IndyCar is number 3, or in some cases Formula One in the U.S. is number 3. So we want to emphasize that and capitalize on that, because we don't think the stories have been told, and we don't think a lot of media people realize that. So that's something we're emphasizing as well.
Whatever I can do to help push you along and to help push this sport through my 2 stations, 106.5 FM and 1050 AM, all you got to do is give me a jingle and say, Joe, we want you to. Now, I'll do whatever it takes to push this forward.
Well, Joe, we just really appreciate you're here. That means a lot to us. You know, people that really understand racing like you do, we need more of those people coming to our events. And the more people we can get out here like that and get the message across, they can actually explain the sport to people where they can understand it and start enjoying it more, is very helpful to us. So we're just thrilled you're here.
You know what? My tactic when I interview is not to talk about the speed. Heck, we know you go fast. Not to talk about the tires. We know you got good tires. All these guys that I have interviewed today, I come from a personal. How's your family?
Yeah.
What are you doing? That kind of a
deal. And that's what we want. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's what we're doing in these stories. Like, we're doing a lot more videos now that we're placing on the website. By the way, we have a newly designed website. We think it's a lot easier for people to access information. But a big part of that is a lot more videos. You know, the truth is, in this era, people will click on a 1 minute or 30-second video a lot more than they'll read a 20-paragraph story.
That's true.
That's just the truth. So we're doing a lot more videos. But in the videos, it's not just about your first place in the standings or something like that. We're doing videos to make them personal about drivers. For example, last week we went out and did a video on, people don't know this, but funny car driver Robert Hyde is quite an amazing chef. We did a video of him cooking some barbecue for us. We did a video with Dale Worsham at his bowling alley and did some bowling with him. We want to make the drivers more personal. We want to tell people, here's why you should care about these people, and here's why you should like them. They have so many stories to tell, and they've never been told before. You know, our drivers, you know, when we were at ESPN, they did a great job. And look, I worked for ESPN for 10 years, and they were great to me. And ESPN was great at showing the on-track action. But they weren't telling the backstory. They weren't telling why you should care about these people. And that's what we're trying to do now with our new television package.
Now, you said your website, and I know what it is. Give that to my viewership.
Well, it's NHRA.com. And if you go there now and haven't been there in a while, you'll notice it's much different. We've reskinned the front to make it much more easy to read. And that is, we have a format that a lot of websites are going to called the River. And that is, most of the information is in the middle of the page, and you can scroll down to whatever story or video you want. There's also a link at the top of the page that has 6 videos on it, and you can click on any one you want to see at any given time. And there's also a little link on there that we thought was very important this year to show where you can see Fox Sport 1 in your market. So you click on that and you just push in your zip code, and it says the channel that you have in your market where Fox Sports 1 is, because we know some people won't know that going in this year. So, but in general, the page is much cleaner, much easier to see, much easier to read, and not as busy as it was in the past. I think people will see that it's a lot easier to access information.
Somebody on your end has not been sleeping at night.
Can you see the bags under my eyes?
Coming up with all this fantastic stuff for the viewers, and believe me, it will be greatly appreciated because we're expecting, and we want that, because we're in the new era of social media. So all that stuff you bring to the table, all these young kids are out there, you know?
Well, that's it. I mean, social media, we're hitting that so hard, Joe, and we're telling our drivers, we need all you guys tweeting and on Facebook because it brings so many more fans. I give them an example, and I know, look, everyone's not Dale Earnhardt Jr., but as an example, Dale Earnhardt Jr. resisted Twitter for years and years. Last year, he went on Twitter. I believe in 2 days he had 1 million followers. So,
wow,
so the power of that is unbelievable. Now, you know, everyone's not Dale Earnhardt Jr., but the point is, if we get our drivers doing that, they can become really more successful and more popular quickly. One example, for example, is Tony Schumacher, our driver who drives the Army dragster, is one of our great champions. He has tons and tons of followers overseas that are in the military that love him, and the easiest way for them to know about him and what he's doing is through social media and Twitter and things like that. And so we've emphasized to him how important that is for him to do. But we want all our drivers doing it. Social media is the thing these days. You know, I never thought, I'm a 30-year journalist, I never thought my career would come down to writing one sentence, 140 characters on Twitter, but, you know, that's what it is. And you have to accept that these days, that people are getting their information in these tiny bites on social media. And we're emphasizing that really hard, and we're doing a lot of that on our webpage as well.
You know something, at Kcaa Racing TV and at Kcaa Racing Live, we have a slogan. We say, Kcaa Racing will put you in the driver's seat. But, man, you guys are doing that. You guys are going to put my fans that are listening, our fans that are listening and that are watching TV, in that driver's seat because of the interaction with the drivers and social media.
We hope so, Joe. You know, we did a video last week, as a matter of fact, at testing. Sean Langdon, one of our top fuel champions, put a camera on his helmet and went through his entire test run from the time he went into the staging lanes, did his backup, did his smoke the tires, all that stuff, till the end of the run, and all you see is what he saw, and it's fascinating. And that thing's gotten over 1 million hits, I think. It even was done overseas in Europe. They put it up there at several sites in Great Britain, and so those kind of interactive things that people can look at and go, wow, that's really cool. We're also adding, most people don't know this yet, live streaming, a premium service that will start in March, that people can see the entire event on the internet, and not only the Fox event, but all the sportsman classes, all the pro mod classes that go on that day, the live feed from the entire day for all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's going to only cost $99 for the entire season. Broken out over 22 races, I don't know, that's like $4.50, and it's over 3 days. And that's really going to help a lot of our international fans, but people can see the entire event on live streaming. We realize live streaming is another giant thing in today's era with young people. So we're doing as much as we can, as quick as we can. The main thing is we want people to actually come to the track, because, Joe, you know this, I've never brought anybody to an NHRA event who had never been there, and they may have seen it on TV a bunch of times. And when they stand there and they see a top fuel dragster or a funny car take off for the first time, and they hear it and they feel the ground shake, they go, oh my God.
That's right.
I've never experienced anything like that. There's nothing else like it in all of sport, and there's nothing else like it, frankly, in all of motorsports. So if we feel like if we get people out here once, they'll be fans.
And fans out there, when you do come to an NHRA race, you better bring some earplugs, because these rascals are very noisy, and they're shooting. What's the top speed right now?
You know, for a top fuel dragster, they're now going over 330 miles an hour in about 3.7 seconds. So people can, and there's about, you know, we always say 10,000 horsepower. They actually did a test on it over the winter at Don Schumacher Racing, and it's almost 11,000 horsepower. Compare that to a NASCAR Cup car that has 800 horsepower. you get a feel for how strong these cars are.
Yeah, but they only go around in circles.
So I'm nothing against that. I love that series and all those guys, but the power of this is incomparable to anything else you could possibly see. I mean, these guys pull 5 Gs on a run, and that's more than a space shuttle astronaut pulls at liftoff. So it's something to see.
That's incredible. All right, folks. So you've heard it you've heard it from the top man here at the Winter Nationals, Terry Blunt. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
All right. Now, encouragement. If you want to encourage, say the viewers, or encourage the young ones out there to get into this sport, it would be what?
I would tell them that in this day and age of extreme sports being so popular, X Games, things like that, this is the ultimate. We like to tell people this is the ultimate extreme sport. This is a piece of machinery that goes over 300 miles an hour in less than 4 seconds. These are the bravest, baddest athletes on the continent, on the world. And if you just come out and watch it once, you're going to love it. I guarantee it. There's nothing you can see in the world that compares to it.
Sir, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy, but nevertheless, you gave hey, folks, did he not give you the real skinny of what's going on? Okay? So, go back to the website, and give them some love. Give them some love and tell them that you've heard this interview on 106.5 and 1050 AM. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, folks. So I tell you, you know what? We're just having a blast here, and we're having great people calling in. And I tell you, I got a lot in store for you. I got a lot in store for you. Okay. God dog it, there was something that I wanted to tell you. Well, maybe I can get it after this next selection. Joe, go ahead and put on the next one, please.
We're winding down the afternoon, and I'm in the media days for the NHRA. And we're in Pomona, California at the Winter Nationals. So I'm just finishing having lunch here. I've been all day interviewing all these professional top race car drivers here under the tent, under the white tent. But nevertheless, so I was overhearing a conversation, not being too nosy, from the guy sitting at the table next to me. And lo and behold, his name is John Hell. Hey, John, how you doing?
Hey, good, Joe. How you doing, man?
You know, man, I'm above ground. I got no complaints, dude.
All right.
I put one foot in front of the other, and I keep going forward.
What a great day here in California. Can't wait to get this show on the road.
I like our weather, man.
Man, it's outstanding. 86 today. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a Texas boy. A little chilly down there right now.
I bet. Yeah, well, you know what? This is the weather here is unusual. It's in the 80s here. It's kind of hot, man. For me, it's kind of hot. But you're from Dallas, so I know you're enjoying the weather. So good for you. What car are you driving in this weekend?
I'm driving the Moon Eyes Jim Dunn Racing Top Fuel Funny Car.
And how long have you been in this game?
Last year was my first full year as a rookie. Prior to that, I got my license in Steve Kluger's car, made a couple of races in that. I believe I raced once in 2014 in the Mellow Yellow Series. Last year we did all 24, and we're looking at doing all 24 again.
Now, so before turning pro, you were doing nostalgia racing, is that right?
Yeah. Did the Hot Rod Heritage Series, which is NHRA's Nostalgia Series. They have Nostalgia Front Engine Top Fuel cars there. They also have Nostalgia Funny Cars. The Nostalgia Funny Cars are the cars that you see that have 1979 and older bodies on them. There's also some engine restrictions on the blower, the fuel pump, the clutch, and the ignition that make them represent the performance of those cars back in that era. And had a lot of success doing that. I'm a two-time champion in the DRO series, which is another series that ran alongside the Hot Rod Heritage Series.
So being a two-time champion, you're no joke then. You made it to the top of the heap.
You know what? It's a pretty tall heap, though, here. When you get up against some of my heroes here, like John Forrest, Jack Beckman, Del Worship, probably one of my favorite drivers here. The very best of the best. And when you get up there, it's like the guy that's throwing the football out in his front yard with the kids. Well, get out here and it's like going to football with Peyton Manning, you know, and you better be on your game because it is the best of the best.
So it's no joke, but you're at the table.
Yeah, it's nice to be here at the table, but you got to do something with it.
Well, nothing's free, man.
It's not, you know, and God's brought me this far into the game, and I know He's not done with me, so we're going to look for our first volley this year.
Well, good enough. So now, when you said a year, you were racing. Last year, what was your standing?
I finished 13th in the Mellow Yellow Series.
From Nostalgia to Phoenix 13th?
No, I finished 13th in the Mellow Yellow Pro Standings. Last year I raced my Nostalgia car kind of off and on. Wasn't really chasing any points.
So this is your breakout here now?
I'd say last year, my rookie year, you know, was really my biggest transition. This year I'm looking for a win. I've got all my rookie mistakes behind me. I'm looking to win my first walk.
So last year you just were shaking out the pucks, huh?
Last year was a learning experience for me, learning every run. You know, and you think, hey, I'm a champion and I know how to drive these cars. Well, the only two things between these cars and the nostalgia cars that are the same is they smell the same. They're two different animals to drive. These mellow yellow cars are hard to drive. They move hard. You've got to be on top of them. You've got to keep them in the groove or they'll drop cylinders. And it's a huge learning experience.
You know, someone said 10,000 horses. Is that right?
You know, 10,000, I'm sure it's a mathematical equation, what it takes to move an object 1,000 feet in that given time. So they're estimating 1,000 horsepower needed. And I'd say that's pretty close. Estimate, but it is an estimate.
So, with that much G-force from the time that the Christmas tree gets you going, how's that feel?
You know, you're pulling about 5 Gs at the head, and it kind of tapers off a little bit in the run, and then it holds.
Okay, folks. You know something? Let's put on. My time is killing me today. Let's put on Antoine's interview, if you don't mind, Joe.
Okay, folks. This is Joe Britt, and we're at the Winter Nationals in Pomona. I come across a champion, a name that I know you guys know. Antoine, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just back here in Pomona with the sunny weather, ready to kick off this exciting 2016 Mellow Yellow NHRA series. Man, I tell you what, this off season felt long, but now it's here, man. Like everything was a rush, man, from testing in Phoenix to coming here today at Media Day, just getting ready to go out here on this racetrack this weekend for the first time for 2016.
So wearing that helmet that says champion, how's that feel, man?
I tell you one thing is that you never think about stuff like that too much when you go out there, but it's a great deal to look back on and realize that you made another little piece of history by being a champion, you know, for the whole team as a whole through all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. But now we're ready to get back after it again and come out here and defend it. That's the goal, is to come out here and to suit back up, go back to gladiator mode and try to stay at the top of that hill. Is hard because the competition hasn't slept. You know what I mean? They're coming out here, they're ready to go out here and go to work, and hopefully we put the work that we need to put in to come out here and contend. And we just want to compete for another championship. And that's our main focus, is to compete and be here at the end to have a chance to bring it home again.
You know what, man? When you're on that starting line and that Christmas tree comes down, what kind of focus, what kind of zone are you in, dude?
Oh, well, we're in that zone when you go out there, you're in that warrior mode. You know what I mean? You're in that mode that when you go up to that line, everything it's so much focus that you can hear a pin drop and you can see the sparkle that the sun sprinkles off of it. You know what I mean? You get in that zone where everything that used to be fast is very, very slow.
So time does slow down for you then, huh?
Absolutely. And it's just like a marksman shooting a gun. When he's taking that last exhale out before he pulls that trigger. That's what us as drivers do out there, day in and day out when we step on that throttle, that gas pedal, that 10,000 horsepower. You've got to go in that zone. If you don't, and you slip up just that little bit, you're left behind.
Wow, you know what? That's the voice of a true champion, you know? And I know you're standing on shoulders of ancestors, man, but I'm so proud of you, man. I just don't know what to tell you, brother. I'm really proud of you, man.
I appreciate that. And the thing about it is, one thing that we do is, one thing I always do, you never take one day for granted. Is the next time you wake up, you open your eyes the next morning, you put yourself to work, and that's what I do. I don't take it for granted, and we put the work in, and hopefully the work shows off in 2016 like it did for 2015, and we go out there and we can go out here and defend this championship, which is going to be a hard feat to do.
So, last word. For any of the youngsters that's coming up, the young guns that are coming up, what kind of inspiration, of word of encouragement can you give them coming from a true champion?
Only thing that I can tell the youth of tomorrow, that they're our next generation, is to never settle. That's one thing that I can tell them from my personal experience, is that every goal that they have in life is there. It's their opportunity to take it, but prepare for it, and when the opportunity comes, go get it. And you're going to stumble and trip along the way, but don't be afraid to do that. And once you do that, learn from it. It's only going to make you better and stronger. And that's what got me to where I'm at today. Is not that I just woke up and it happened. Is that I made it happen.
But you put the work in.
Absolutely. You got to put the work in and learn from your mistakes. That's the key element. Is learning. Is learn from your mistakes. Never take one day for granted, and give it all you have each day. And always make a step towards your goal. Don't step away from it, because when you step away from it is when you're settling. Go towards that flame. It'll be hot at first, but once you get under control, you'll stop sweating, and that dream will become a reality.
And if you fall down?
You fall down, just get right back up.
That's right. Okay, enjoy your season, man. I'm happy to have you in front of this Kcaa Racing mic. I'm really happy. I've been wanting to get this. I've been trying to reach out and touch somebody that you know. But now I got you on here. Thank you very much. Any shout outs for anybody?
No. It's blessed to be on. Hopefully we get to see everybody out here in our NHRA Male Yellow Series this year. Come to a race, because every race is every ticket and every race, you're in the pits and you're a part of it, and you will feel it.
Thank you. Have a good day, man.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right, we are back in the driver's seat, and this is your host, Joe Britt, Kcaa Racing Live. And, we come to you every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. That's a.m. on a Saturday morning. We're happy to provide you with as much information as we can possibly get out of this mouth of mine. In studio right now, I'm sitting with two guys. And these guys are not car guys, but these guys are always mad as hell. Okay. And to tell you the truth, they come up after I get off the air, and it's a blast just listening to these guys. So without further ado, I got a couple more seconds here. Let me introduce you to the guys that are coming up. To the right of me, he is
Greg.
Okay.
Simpson.
Greg Simpson. And to the left of me,
Lloyd Brock.
And so tell us why you guys are always mad as hell.
Well, you can read the newspaper, watch the news.
Watch the news. Just walk out into a mall.
What makes you happy?
Yeah, where's the
There's
happy?
no happy news in the newspaper. Very, very little.
What, you telling me that LA Times and CNN is not giving you what you want?
Well,
huh?
No, they're making us mad as hell. So we got to show.
Some things are correct. Others are not correct.
Not correct. That's what we're trying to.
There's so many things that make you mad as hell.
So
I showed you one of them right here.
Yeah.
So okay, so
and I showed you another.
Yeah, and both of them are crazy. So, in your hour coming up in about 2 minutes or 3 minutes or so, what are you going to be talking about?
We're going to talk about the shooting in Dallas and those policemen that were murdered.
We're going to talk about. Go ahead.
The whole nation as a whole and how that is reflected in this society and seems to be going crazy.
Can we recover?
I believe so.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
America.
it's
we're
recoverable.
We
we're
should
Americans.
be able to recover.
We can recover.
Without that, I mean, just this hate.
People have to get together and speak up. Tell people, talk to people.
Did you hear my show coming in?
No, I didn't get to hear it.
I said there's only one race on this planet. We're all human.
That's right.
Now, you come to me with a tail and a polka dot in your blood or something like that, then I got to put you in another category, okay?
That's right.
But as far as I know, we're all one race. Now, there's a lot of ethnicities and a lot of different colors, white, black, blue, purple, pink, but we're all of the same human family. We shouldn't be fighting so much, man.
No, there's some fighting that we've always fought, but we don't need to fight like we're fighting, and we don't need to point at you as being a black man and cause you grief. We were getting over that. In the last 7 or 8 years, not to mention what might be causing it, it's gone back to where we're looking at the color.
You think that's been designed that way?
Well, I think it has. I think this man designed it that way. Yes, I think he's in a master plan.
There are things involved in the economy that is steering it in that direction.
So it's money based.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
By the 1%.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you folks, you got something to listen to. Look, this is Gotcha Racing Live with your Joe Britt, and we got just a hot second. We come every Saturday at 11 o'clock a.m. And you know something? It's been a real blast. 5, 4, 3. Don't give me that finger this time, dude. We are almost out of here. We're going. Take care. See you next Saturday.
Thank you, Joe.
All righty.
You're listening to KCAA, Loma Linda, California. The best station in the nation.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
Repeat at Wimbledon. This is Maria Marino. Serena Williams pulled off a straight sets victory over Angelique Kerber in today's women's final. She now ties Steffi Graf's record of 22 major titles, and she's not done for the day. Serena and sister Venus playing in the doubles championship right now. The men's singles final is tomorrow between Andy Murray and Milos Raonic, who beat Roger Federer.
This one clearly hurts because I felt like I could have had it. So close. It was really so close. So it clearly hurts, but at the same time, I totally overachieved here. And the match against Chile was epic, so it was fun to be part of that match.
Over to baseball. Mets Noah Syndergaard and Yoenis Cespedes are officially out of the All-Star game due to injuries. Dexter Fowler of the Cubs also out. Syndergaard after leaving last night's 3-1 loss to the Nationals early.
It's my first full season in the big leagues. I've thrown a lot of pitches, thrown a lot of innings so far. Just think it boils down to just a little bit of fatigue. There's no pain, there's no discomfort in my elbow regarding the bone spur. I mean, I felt like I could still go out there and pitch through that. But, just really all about